In this video, we're going to show you how to install the harmonic balancer on your Subaru Legacy located on the front portion of your engine. With the hood open, you want to go ahead and remove this air intake. Remove the two plastic retainers here. Once you have those removed, you want to go ahead and lift up on this here. You need to pull it out of the air filter box. So you're going to be pulling this portion out of the box, and go ahead and set that aside. Let's go ahead and remove our belt covers using a 10mm socket. Use a 12mm socket to loosen the alternator bolt here. Once you loosen that, you can lift this up and slide that out. You want to loosen and remove this belt here. So we're going to do that by using a 12mm socket down here on the adjuster. Back that off. Now we're not going to unthread that from the block. We just want to loosen it enough where we can go ahead and remove this belt. Now we have our adjuster right here, and we're going to go ahead and loosen this nut. This is a 12mm. I'm going to put our 12mm socket on our ratchet, and we just want to loosen this. Now we're going to go ahead and adjust this tension on our belt here by loosening this threaded bolt right here. This is a 12mm bolt head. When we get to the point, we'll go ahead and slide that belt off. Using a 12mm socket and ratchet, I want to loosen and remove both of these here. That's going to allow us to remove the tensioner off of the engine. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our outer belt that goes around the alternator and the harmonic balancer. Now ideally when you replace the harmonic balancer, it's a good idea to go ahead and replace your belts as well. But it's okay to do this. It's not going to be a habit that you do, but what you're doing is you're wrapping the belt around the alternator and around your harmonic balancer. I'm going to use a 22mm deep socket on our breaker bar here. I'm going to go down inside to the center of this harmonic balancer. And that belt is going to flop off there, but this is what we're going to do. Get our socket on there. Get that belt on there. And then we're going to go ahead and rotate this. Okay, pop that belt off and go ahead and get my socket in there. And loosen that bolt. Now these are held on with a key. You can see it's wiggling around a little bit right there. Keep working on it, there we go. Slide that off. You can see right on the pulley there, there's a little keyway that needs to lock in. All right, so I want to go ahead and show you the little key right here. You see this little key right here, the square. Now this is going to line up with the notch in your harmonic balancer. You want to make sure that that key is there and it's not falling out anywhere, and that it's nice and flush. And ours is in perfect condition, so we want to go ahead and put our harmonic balancer in and slide it over that, locking it on. Let's go ahead and lower our harmonic balancer down in a position. And I'm just going to use my mirror to go ahead and match up, and it is spot on. Making sure that my key is lined up on the harmonic balancer. Last thing you want to do is tighten this down and it's not on that key. There it is. Perfect. You'll hear it bottom out too. Before we install the crank bolt, we are going to put some engine oil on this. And then we're going to go ahead and install that. Thread that in all the way. And we're going to torque this down to 132 foot-pounds. There it is. Good. Pop that belt off. Can lower our tensioner down into position. I like to go ahead and get that upper bolt started, and then we'll go ahead and get that lower one in there. And snug those down. And once those bolts are bottomed out, I'm going to go ahead and put my ratchet on there. And we just want to snug that just a little bit. That's it. Slide your belt on. You're going to make sure that your belt is on your harmonic balancer completely, and the tensioner, and then your belt should slide right on. And let's go ahead and tighten the adjuster a bit. Now when tightening the belt, what we're looking for is in the middle of the belt, you want to have about a 1/2 inch of deflection either way. Now this is way too much. You should only have 1/2 inch, just a tiny bit. That's it. That's all you want. I want to go ahead and tighten down our idler down here. And once that bottoms out, you want to make sure it's good and snug. double check that belt. Perfect. Lower your belt down and onto the harmonic balancer. Around that alternator, and then onto your power steering pump. Let's go ahead and tighten the adjuster on the top here. Now when tightening this down, you want to make sure that you have about a 1/2 inch of deflection, and this is too much right now. So I'm going to snug that down just a little more. So you're right in the center of the belt from pulley to pulley. Just a tiny bit more. Perfect. That's what we're looking for. Now that we have the tensioner snugged, let's go ahead and tighten down the bolt to secure it. Once that bottoms out, just give it a little bit more. You want to make sure that is snug. And then we have our alternator pivot bolt here. We can't tighten this one down yet, so we're going to cut that out. Install our upper belt cover. This goes between the two washers. And over here, we'll install our bolts here. I'm going to snug down our pivot bolt here with our 12mm socket and snug that. Tighten down the 10mm bolt over here. Just snug it down. Install your belt cover here. And once you have your bolts in place, you want to go ahead and snug those down. Just snug it gently. Good, line up the air intake tube into the air filter box. Then we can go ahead and install our plastic push pins. Your pins might be a little bit different than ours. Either way, just go ahead and get those installed. We now go ahead and take the vehicle for a road test.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.